Welcome to Tuesday Night Modern.
I hope you're as excited about this as I am.
I am. My name's Taylor Gunn. I'm sitting here with handsome John Douglas.
We've got a heater. We've got some Bogles and some taxes.
Can't beat the... I mean, I love it. We randomly pick the first match of the night usually, and this Bogles deck is right up my alley.
Yes, it is.
Two of my favorite decks here, really. Well, I really don't like the Eldrazi Taxes deck. I don't think it's
You just like Eldrazi.
I do like Eldrazi. Like Thought Nuts here, I'll cast that card all the time. Very
all
powerful.
Day, every day.
In the Bogles deck, super duper powerful. You got to avoid some key sideboard cards in Modern. But
what kind of sideboard cards do people bring in against Bogles?
Chalice is amazing, and Engineered Explosives is very, very good.
Ooh.
So both those cards just over the top amazing.
Just side in some damping matrices. GG noobs.
Some damping matrices. So there used to be a version of Bogles that played. Why can't I think of it? It's the enchantment that costs 1 and a white, and all the activated abilities cost 2 more.
Oh sure, yeah. A suppression field.
Suppression field. That's correct.
That's a heater. That's a good one. I like suppression field. We'll start it off with a shambling men here.
And here's a plan.
Let's see if he's got the Boggle to match.
Yeah, I don't think you're going after this untapped if you don't have the Boggle.
Yeah, I can't imagine why you would, but here we are on a Tuesday night. Anything can happen.
Hey, we're back to standard time, but it's not time for standard.
It is not time for standard. It is time for modern. And it may be getting cold, but that action is hot, hot, hot.
The hottest modern action. You're watching here on Top Deck Productions.
A Scout. Glade Cover Scout? Is that what
Glade
it is?
Clover. It's a Clover
That doesn't
Scout.
make any sense at all. Any elves tonight is asked in the chat. Who knows?
I think...
That's an elf.
Yes, the Scout is an elf.
When is Commander Night? I will gladly stream myself playing Commander for you.
Jeez.
It will not be pleasant. All right, time to suit it up.
Yep.
Start with a Rancor.
This is the best enchantment, and that is...
Oh, man, that's a cartouche of white.
So Cartouche is a fantastic ad for this deck. I mean, you want to talk about a get.
A Git.
Cartouche is a card that...
G-I-T.
Yeah,
It's
get. A get. We don't get got. We go get.
Yeah, we go Git.
No, but Cartouche is amazing because it fills this role of protecting you from Liliana out of the Jund decks.
Mm-hmm.
When I played this deck several moderns ago...
Several, yes.
We were going as deep as Fists of the Ironwood.
Yeah.
Which does not bonus the creature at all. It gives it trample and generates 2. So Cartouche does way more than that card ever dreamed of doing, and at half the cost.
So here we have a Eldrazi Displacer on 2, typically good. That's not going to be able to tangle with this Glade Clover Scout because of Cartouche's other ability.
It's got the first strike.
It's got the first strike. It gets to strike first and often. And not only that, he can't even set up a chump blocker scenario because he's already got the Rancor on it. So it's got trample.
Yeah, I think Mike might be a potential attendee at Mulligan Academy.
Well, I don't know.
He kept a 1-lander. He missed his second land drop.
Did he?
Yeah.
Are we sure about that?
Yeah, this is Justin's
third
No,
turn.
because so it was the comes
turn.
into play tapped land.
Yeah.
Turn 2 yielded the Aether Vial.
Oh, sure.
And so now turn 3 was the...
All right, Mike.
Sign up. We have a discounted price.
Yeah, get your FAFSA in order.
You want to talk about a miserable government form? That is one of them for sure.
That is one of them.
One of the many.
So he's got a Spirit Mantle on him now. Is Spirit Mantle +1/+1 or +2/+2?
+1/+1.
And pro creatures, right?
Yeah. So this guy is completely unblockable.
Unblockable. So this seems a bit odd to throw this out there with a Vial on 2, but I don't know what else is in his hand, so...
Yeah, I mean, you could just have another 2-drop somewhere.
You would think. I see multiple copies of Thalia. Oh, that's a Tide Hollow Scholar. I guess that one's a little bit better in instant speed.
Yeah, do it against the draw step.
Yes, sir.
Here's tonight's scouting report.
Scouting report from Jake Valentine.
Jake Valentine, your Top Deck... Jake, what's your title here at Top Deck Productions?
Medium editor?
Medium editor?
Terrible spotter monkey.
Medium manager.
Oh, medium manager.
Yeah, he's just making stuff up now. I'm not going to let that slide.
Website, I take care
But here we have the Tide Hollow Scholar.
Take care of leaving that around.
Man, why in the world? I guess he might have
So
just
this is
drawn
on the
this.
draw step, right?
Yeah, this is on the draw step. I was going to say, I can't imagine him not casting his Ethereal Armor, but...
So if you're going to power rank the enchantments in this set, in this deck,
that's the top.
it's very close between that and Rancor.
Pick up that Plains, too. So now we just get to path the Tide Hollow and get our Ethereal Armor back.
Here's a Plains.
We can even cast another Boggle if we want. The world is our oyster.
Oh, is that what... Yeah, you're correct. This is the correct path.
Oh, we're Tushin. Doesn't that just cost 1?
Yeah, we've got an extra mana hanging out somewhere. Oh, Thalia is taxing the mana of...
Thalia.
So this is why we couldn't path and...
Yeah, well, we could have pathed and done that still, but...
No, because Thalia makes everything cost 2. We only have 3 mana available.
Oh, sure. Second Boggle.
So Mike's at 5 here. Not a
good
lot of
place
outs.
Yeah, he's...
Not a lot of outs.
We need, like, a Damnation.
The whole damnation.
The whole damn thing. Or a Engineered Explosives.
Yep. You'll notice Mike's wearing a Titleist hat. You think he'd be adept at mulliganing appropriately.
Ha ha ha!
Ha!
Golf jokes. That's what they tune in for, is the golf jokes, really.
This guy's really repping a lot of things. Titleist hat, My Chemical Romance T-shirt. Can't hate on him for that.
Livestrong bracelet.
This guy's doing a lot of things right. He's gonna lose this game, but
I don't know if any of those are doing things right. I'm not gonna say they're doing things wrong. I'm not gonna hate on the young Michael Degaro. But I don't know that all those things are the right thing to do.
what are you talking about?
I don't
All
know
those
where
are fantastic.
you get off assuming that these are all right.
The kids are all right.
All right. Was this attack all right?
It's the thing. Sometimes a man needs to take action, and this is as best as you're gonna do. Now, if I'm Justin, I'm gonna double block the Scholar to get my enchantment back. But
You don't even need it.
Probably
You're
irrelevant.
just
Yeah,
swinging
it's
for $1 billion.
it's completely irrelevant. You don't have to sell me on the fact that I don't need it.
If you're Mike, I mean, if you're swinging all in, you should have swung with this Shambling Vent too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you've got second main, but it ain't gonna save you.
So this is basically a perfect Bogles draw. So a lot of times you'll have draws
So
where
we've replaced the Thalia with a Thalia.
where you'll be like all creatures or all enchantments. But this one is both creatures and enchantments. And all the enchantments are unique. So there's not a lot of like doubles.
Right.
Like giving your opponent, your creature, trample or lifelink twice doesn't do anything.
Correct.
So you want unique enchantments so that your creature gains new abilities the whole time. Going into the sideboard here, I'm wondering if Justin's going to go as deep as Leyline of Sanctity.
So that's a very common sideboard strategy here for Bogles.
Yeah, against the black.
Against any black deck with any discard. I don't know that Mike really even wants to keep Tide Hollow Scholars in, but I don't know that he has anything insane out of the board.
Yeah, I think his best bets here are cards like Lingering Souls is very good.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to let him linger.
Because the only card that gives trample is Rancor, and sometimes they'll play Unflinching Courage, which also gives trample. So Lingering Souls can actually buy you several turns if they don't have one of those cards.
Okay.
You know.
So Mike's deck isn't one that's going to have many answers. He could have Liliana's out of the board. That would be very strong.
Yeah, Liliana on the board would be good. That's where I would be interested in bringing in cards, is Liliana and or Lingering Souls and or any number of Damnations, Flaying Tendrils, anything like that you have. Yahini's Expertise, maybe.
I don't want those. Like,
you don't want Damnation?
I want Damnation. I don't want Flaying Tendrils or Yahini's Expertise.
I'm just saying, if I would take a Yahini's Expertise if you got one. Sign me up.
I would rather have a Squire than a Yahini's Expertise in this matchup.
Well,
a 1/2 does nothing for 2.
So, yes, sometimes Yahini's Expertise is going to be like outclassed
completely, and it's going to kill all your guys and not his guys.
The benefit here is it's going to get around any Umbras.
It will get around Umbras.
Whereas Damnation will not. Damnation is just going to kill an Umbra.
Sure. Gotta wreck those Umbras, bro.
Correct. And you get to follow up with, Liliana, Lingering Souls, Athalia, something.
Okay.
That's one way to get ahead. Like Justin's whole plan is that his enchantments cost so little and have such a high impact. You know what I mean? They're designed to be bigger than 2 + 2 = 5 because we have such great values of 2. The look I just got was amazing.
All right, Justin pops his Windswept Heath. We're going to go get a Temple Guard Knight Imagine.
Lean and Arbiter can actually do a lot of work against this deck, too, because it relies heavily on fetch lands.
Yeah, but unless it comes down on turn 1 or 0, then it's not really going to do much here.
You can put it down on 2 here, and if he's got 2 fetch lands in hand, it could be...
Yeah, so if the Bogles player has 4 lands in hand, they're just dead. Like, they just lose.
Oh, no, but you keep hands with 2 fetch lands in them all the time. Because you play, like, 8 fetch lands.
I agree, but then you get to play your 2 fetch lands before he gets to do his thing.
Mike's going first.
Oh, he's going first.
Yeah, so his turn 2 is going to happen before Justin's turn 2, so it'll strand a fetch land.
Man. Strand and fetches.
That's good. It's basically a turn 2 Stone Rain. Here's a Thalia.
I don't know that I would go that far. Thalia is going to do some good work to slow this down a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually really good because now Justin's only going to be on 1 enchantment a turn.
Oh, and only 1 land.
Only 1 land.
That's fine. Bogles keeps 1 land hands quite often.
Yeah, granted, if he didn't have a Thalia, Justin probably would have been off to the races here.
Yeah.
All right. So Mike's going to think about it again. He's probably got more follow-up here. I can't imagine he's not going to hit one of the amazing 3-drops in this deck.
How many amazing 3-drops are in this deck? Tell me all about it.
So you have Eldrazi Displacer. You've got Flicker Wisp. You've got... There's a Tide Hollow Scholar.
Taking damage. Here's all these cards that I couldn't play anyway. Man, what do you even take here? I guess the Rancor is good. The Cartouche is good here.
I would take, let's see,
Ethereal
Cartouche's
Armor.
First Strike. He's got a lot of the first striking. So that means you're going to trade this Thalia off. So I would probably take the Rancor
Yeah.
as the first strike is the redundant ability in hand. The Ethereal Armor could get out of hand if you're not careful.
I was thinking about taking the Path, which certainly does
The Path does a lot of work
give
too.
him a lot of time. So we have a comment in chat here that null set with the 5 instead of the S, because I'd imagine null set was just taken, has heard through the grapevine that you and I like to party with Pitbull.
Party
Comments?
with Pitbull?
Party with Pitbull.
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide himself.
If Pitbull wanted to party with me,
Oh, yeah.
I would be there instantaneously.
You would just teleport.
I would begin my journey to wherever Pitbull said the party was happening
All right.
immediately.
Immediately.
Obviously, you know, if he tells me now that he's partying in New York City, I can't be there in a reasonable amount of time, and I'd say, hey, can I get a rain check?
Null set has clarified. He's sorry, the Pitbull, not the musical artist. It's too late to go back on this, man. We're already partying with Pitbull.
Yeah. Listen, Mr. Worldwide, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, you're an MTG enthusiast, and you're listening to the fine work tonight, I'm ready to party.
Yeah, let's party it up, man.
All right, here's a Flicker Wisp.
All right, we're going to Flicker Wisp this Tide Hollow Sculler. Give him a path back. Reveal a second Rancor.
We'll take the Path again.
Yeah.
I
Second
wonder
land
how
for
often.
Justin.
I wonder how often he gets to do the 5-mana trick of like exiling a card forever.
Hopefully never.
I hope it happens all the time for him. That'd be nice. Thought Nuts here? Give me a Thought Nuts here.
No, I think we're going to have an Arbiter here. And there's the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Pretty good on this board. It cuts off a lot of Justin's lands. Oh, and
Oh, and there was a straight up strip mine out of the Ghost Quarter, and Justin's gonna scoop him up.
yep.
Not gonna waste our time with that one, huh?
No, we need 2 lands to operate around Athalia, and wasn't the case. So there we saw Mike having the exact cards he needed to fight his Bogles deck, as opposed to the first game where Justin had the exact cards he needed to fight this Eldrazi Taxes deck.
Yeah, it's a very interesting match.
Very interesting.
I would consider both of these decks to be in like the if you look at any one given like large tournament, you're gonna see like less than 5% of players playing one of these decks.
Oh, sure.
So-
You'll see more than that playing Eldrazi Taxes. That's a popular deck right now.
Less than 10?
Okay. But less than 10's like average.
Sure. But I feel like when Modern is the most interesting is when these decks that are on the fringes meet up against each other.
The most interesting, you
I think
say.
that's the most interesting. I don't really care for the matchups that are like, you know, here's 2 established decks, let's figure out how they entangle.
Okay.
I think that when you're playing against a deck that you're not necessarily having like 6 sideboard cards for, and you kind of have to make it up as you go along, figure out where you can get your advantages in the matchup. That's super interesting in my mind.
Trilix Q. Never heard of Bogles. What is it? What are the main cards? Slippery Boggle.
So-
Glade Clover Scout.
Yep.
So basically, 1/1s for 1 green that have hexproof, and then you suit them up with enchantments. You get their pants on, you get their shirts on, you get their suit and tie on, and send them to work.
Yeah. The 2 biggest ones are Rancor and Ethereal Armor. Those are the 2 that you want to see all the time. The decks have been playing Cartouche of
White. Cartouche of white.
Strength.
No, it's just white.
The white Cartouche.
A weaker Infect. It's very different from Infect. Infect buffs its creatures, but they generally can't survive combat. So if you have to like force combat, you end up wasting a lot of resources to get your creatures to survive. the Bogles deck, because its creatures get so big and get lifelink and trample and first strike, you can't survive combat against the Bogles deck, and they just become this wrecking ball that eventually gets there.
Additionally, it plays some.
Ooh, how about a fast land for you?
There you go. That card's super important. So additionally, you'll see that it has some resilience to removal because of the Umbra enchantments that came out of Rise of the Eldrazi, namely Hyena Umbra and Spider Umbra, because they both cost 1.
That's a better assessment, Admiral No Beard, who says it's like Infect, but more powerful and less stable, able to close out games quickly, but relies on just 1 or 2 creatures without counter backup. And this match is not looking great from Mike.
Yeah, that's a big start from Justin. Did we not get the cartouche trigger? Is that not what that white one is?
I think it is, but I think he just doesn't care, which you kind of have to care, but whatever.
So think about it this way, that if you're going to compare Bogles to Infect, Infect is a deck that plays on the stack, meaning it's susceptible to those kind of cards. Cards that counter spells or, bounce creatures, whatever. Whereas Bogles is a deck that plays on the board, so it's much more susceptible to cards that have bigger board impacts.
All right,
so here you're
good.
watching a Glade Clover Scout outsize a Thalia.
3 mana.
3 mana.
Oh, the
yeah.
Daybreak Cornet. So this thing's going to give it lifelink, +2/+2, vigilance, and it's just a monster
And
now.
first strike.
Does it also give it first strike?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first strike's redundant, but now we're attacking it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vigilant, lifelink, first strike. Ugh.
Yeah, Daybreak Cornet's really a huge payoff card.
Yeah. That's a big one. Now at this point, I don't see anything that's gonna get Mike out of this hole, honestly, out of his deck, unless he has a Liliana, plays it, and immediately gets rid of this Glade Clover Scout. Pull up Glade Clover Scout. This is the Daybreak Cornet. It's a cool card. It only can enchant a creature with another aura attached to it, so it's kind of unique to this deck, but man, is it powerful when you get it.
This is the worst art for it, by the way. The Future Sight art is so cool.
Yeah, Future Sight art's great. Bring up Glade Clover Scout. I don't believe it's Clover and not cover. That's driving me crazy.
That's driving you crazy?
Yeah, it's like one of those Berenstain things. Glade Cover Scout.
Alright, Glade Cover it is.
Holy smokes. I was going mad. I'm like, there's no way it's Clover. But I mean, you played the deck, so I'm like, hey, I mean, I trust you to be right on that, but...
Sorry. I failed you. You trusted me and I failed you. My cocaine.
Boggle should play like Dredge or Pokemon. Gotta lay those enchantments out. I don't know what that means, but you know what? I'm gonna give it to you.
Dredge deck's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's a little bit on a downswing right now. How about Hyena for you?
That old chestnut. So what's happening here is Justin's going to keep attacking. He doesn't have a trample enchantment. So Mike's going to get to chump off as many times as he wants here.
Yeah, but he's just...
And Justin's life total goes to the roof.
Yeah, it goes through the roof.
Speaking of high life totals, you gained some life this weekend, didn't you?
Not really. I mean, kind of. I didn't have a high life total at any point, but yeah.
We went to a PPTQ on Saturday.
We did. Was that a Saturday? That wasn't Sunday.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Sunday.
That was a Sunday PPTQ.
John played the
The
Godfarer's gift deck.
Yeah.
Man, he has a beefy Angels in play. I was played the red deck, so I got to finish before him a lot of the time. I look over his shoulder. This deck is not for the faint of heart.
It is not. It's a lot of fun. I like it. It's right up my alley. But
he was at like less than 5 many times.
oh yeah,
and he
constantly.
Just, like, God Pharaoh's Gift. Here's my 6/6 flying lifelink haste coming at you. Go back to 7. Go.
Go back down to 2.
Attack again. Go to 9.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
It's a pretty ridiculous thing.
Yeah, congratulations. Took that one down.
Thank you. Looks like we got a path taken by the Tide Hollow Scholar.
It's highly irrelevant. He's going to get that path back in hand eventually because it's either going to be...
He might.
I mean, it's either going to be blocked with this Scholar or lose the game.
At some point, yes.
Are going to be the 2 options.
Or Justin will draw a Trample Enchantment.
Yeah, I like this deck as like a local, like I like back pocketing this deck where I like keep it around, and if I'm feeling frisky, you just whip it out, and you get to like play it one night, and then you just ignore it for another month and a half.
For another year.
Yeah, for another year.
Hey, any new enchantments come on this last year? Nope.
Nope.
All right, let's jam it.
Yeah,
Admiral Nobeard wants to know if anybody in the shop plays Lantern. We have somebody that plays Lantern every once in a while, but it's not like the fun, happy, like, oh, Lantern's interesting type thing. It's kind of like a slow read all my cards type thing, and it's not where you want to be. I wish we had a competent Lantern player here that we could throw on.
Yeah, so the
Because
problem...
I would actually like watching that too.
So I agree that like Lantern is a great deck. The problem is that like you have to know it gains a lot from knowing what your opponent's deck is doing.
Right.
And so when you're a Lantern player and you don't know what's going on the other side of the board, and you have to like think about all your decisions, it makes the deck go super long because there's just a billion decision points in it. So if you are a student of Modern and you feel like you know what's going on in the world, Lantern can be a great choice for you.
Yeah, it's a very tough deck to play.
Concur.
But it's pretty interesting. It attacks the format from a very unique angle.
Yeah. I love the mana base in the thing. It's so cool. It's got like all these, like, you know, there's like 2 Blossoming Marsh, and there's like the 2, it's all 2 ofs, and you're just like, oh, I got all these weird lands, mana confluences and weird stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
Mike's gonna think real hard about it. Nope, passes it off. Is this token, do we get another cartouche and remember the trigger? Is that what happened?
Yes, we remember this one. Whereas Mike would probably be dead if he remembered the first token trigger.
Yeah, because you could be swinging in with the token as well.
Yeah, now it doesn't matter, but...
Nothing really matters. So Mike has 4 lands, one of which is a Shambling Vent, so he has 3 total blocks. And so even if you were to be able to muster a block big enough for this Glade Clover Scout, it's got 2 Umbras on it.
You're right.
So you have to block it twice. You have to basically kill it 3 times to get it off the board. All right.
Smith with a great comment here. I have eclectic tastes. Check out my mana base. So the great thing about playing against Lantern is if you can play patiently, you will get an opportunity to get in there, but you just have to be the most patient person in the world. Like, there's usually one opportunity where you can be like, all right, Abrupt Decay this, or Colgan's Command this, or something like that, and then just push through. But man, it's tough to recognize that one spot.
So you're saying I'm never going to be able to beat Lantern?
You can, but the decks that you play would go under it.
Yeah,
as opposed to through
absolutely. this Bogles deck would probably be, it would probably totally hinge on Lantern casting Ensnaring Bridge or not.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows if that's ever going to happen.
True. Billy, if you come back with Lantern, I will put you on camera every single round. That is a promise.
Yeah, I would love to watch Bill Caminos pilot that deck.
Yeah, Bill Caminos is the type of player that would pilot that deck very well.
Yeah, he understands the modern format really well. And he knows what decisions the other player is making so that he can respond appropriately. He has that skill. Alright, so this Thoughtnuts here looks like it snagged nothing.
Literal nothing.
I'm going to set the over-under on Justin's life total at the end of the game at 70.
I would take the over because if he doesn't draw the trample enchantment here, then he's already that high.
70? He's 47, so you're telling me he's going to gain 23 life here?
No, I'm saying that between this attack and the attack that wins him, like if he draws the trample enchantment next turn,
Sure.
we'll put him to 70. I don't think it's that big. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right now, and the trample enchantment put it at 9, so almost, but man,
he gets so his outs here are Rancor. There's 55. His outs are Rancor and
that's a good one here.
That's a great card. Normally, the way I play this card is that I'll save it until I have the 1-drop enchantments, so that I can cast it and like keep going. But he's got the Thalia in play, so you want to have maximum mana.
Oh, absolutely.
When you get that enchantment. Rancor and that card. Spirit Mantle. Draw card. Draw card. Yep. All right.
We're just ignoring Thalia after like turn 2 anyway. Who cares? Who cares?
All right. So Justin takes that one down.
Wins one for the little slippery guy, the slippery boys.
The little slippery boys.
Yep. As opposed to the tentacle boys, I guess, on Mike's side.
Yeah.
Such a shame to see Eldrazi lose for you, I'm sure, but
I got to see the slippery boys win. So.
Yeah, you got to see the slippery boys win. So here we go. Yes, cards like Sacrifice Attacking Creature would be a great sideboard.
Oh man, Blessed Alliance would be fantastic here.
Absolutely. So there we go. Round 1's in the books. We'll be back here shortly for round 2. We'll pick another, I'd say hot one, but it's probably going to be a random one, so we'll see. Hope you all stick with us.
Crag, I like it.
Was
I
able
like
to
it.